Come on! Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Whether I can do it now is a different matter altogether. I used to do that for hours. Wow. Thank you for the chance to show that.
So if you remember, you were involved in the very first campaign that you were involved in was the health campaign.
Yeah.
Treat Me Right.
Yeah.
And I remember you were supported to give evidence to a number of committees at the Assembly.
Yeah.
The Disability Rights Commission, they held an inquiry into why people with a learning disability had such a bad experience when they went to GP surgeries.
Yeah.
And I think because you've always had lots of experiences in your life that you can tell people about, that makes you very powerful.
Yeah.
Much more powerful than me as a person without a learning disability, or other people in organisations who don't have a learning disability, because it's real for you.
Yeah. No, the other campaigns which I was successfully on, like the annual health checks, the Oscar passport, and all stuff like that, and doing that, going with those.
So I think there are probably about 4 main campaigns that you worked with on your time with us in MenCap Cymru. So the first one was about health.
Yeah.
And as a result of that work that you did, could you remember, you interviewed over 1,000 people with a learning disability to find out what their experiences was. You went to day centres, the gateway clubs. Do you remember doing that with Sue, who supported you?
Yeah.
And most of those people said actually when they go to the doctor doesn't talk to them. They don't understand what the doctor's saying.
Yeah.
And as a result of that work, do you remember what happened? The Welsh Government introduced the annual health checks for people.
Which is free.
Which is down to you.
Yeah.
You then got involved in the 9 to 5 campaign, which was about employment.
Yeah.
And that was trying to show the Welsh Government that they needed to provide more opportunities for people with a learning disability to get into paid employment.
Yeah.
The other big one that you were involved with, do you remember? Changing Places.
Yeah.
Where you spent more time in public toilets with politicians.
People
should know about opening lots of toilets.
Yeah.
And you were really involved then in getting people to understand the need of people with profound and multiple learning disabilities.
Yeah.
And then the final campaign that you were involved in, do you remember that one?
It's when they went along with Paul's sister and brother, and they had to give. It
was called Death by Indifference, and it was because Paul Ridd died in Morriston Hospital.
Yeah.
And you had to support that family.
Yeah.
To get the Public Service Ombudsman to take an inquiry out to find out why Paul had died.
Yeah.
Because Paul had a learning disability, and when he went into hospital, he caught an infection, and as a result of that infection, his lungs were filling up with water, and the hospital staff, they didn't suction him properly, and he ended up drowning, didn't he?
Yeah.
And you were very supportive. If you remember, the family, they were really inspired by the way that you supported them.
Yeah.
Because it was a really difficult time for them.
Yeah.
But having someone with a learning disability help them by going to the coroner's meetings and understanding what their concerns were around how the health services supported them. So you've made a big difference in terms of some of the public changes that have happened in